Hey guys, Mike here from Baiting Outdoors. Welcome to another bait making episode. Today we're going to be going out to the bait shack to do something I've never done before. So I've always been fascinated with guys who do what's called a core shot technique. So what this is it's a piece of metal rod that you put down through the center of the mold before you pour the first color. You remove that rod, then you shoot another color down the center or the core of that bait, making it a two-tone look. Now you do this with a more translucent color so that the two colors show up. It's something I've been really interested in doing, and to take it to the next level, we're going to try this with a swim bait. So the goal today is to try to make a yellow perch pattern using a core shot technique. I don't know if it's going to work. I've never done it, but we're going to try it today. So let's head out to the bait shack and see how it goes. Guys, so because when I'm out there, I wear respirator masks to protect my lungs, I'm going to kind of voice over what I'm doing. Right now, I'm lining up the metal rod to see how long I want it to be. I'm actually going to cut it with not the right cutters. So I'll admit you definitely want diagonal cutters. I was using these like tin snips that did not work very well to cut this rod. But ultimately I lined it up to stick out a little bit beyond the end of the bait. And the reason I did that is so that I'm able to pull it out a lot easier. And you can see right here, I just kind of like used my finger to mark it. And then I just kind of worked my way around the rod until I could cut it. What that ultimately did is created a bend on the end, which did make it hard to line that rod up inside the swim bait when I was using it. But you'll see like right here, it kind of gives way. In just a second here, shoots across the screen. But basically, the plan is we're going to put the rod inside of this mold. So that creates our core to shoot the second color into. In just a second, I'm going to show you guys how it looks in the mold. But basically, the rod sits down through the center of that mold, and that forms the core right there. So this first color that we're going to pour, we're going to call Ghost Perch. This is a pretty cool color. It's kind of a translucent green, got a little bit of fleck in it just to dress it up a little bit. So essentially, just like any other bait that I pour, all you have to do is just fill up the injector, pour it in there. You do want to keep quite a bit of pressure on it while it sets up, and we do have to let this sit a little longer than I normally would because I don't want it to be even slightly soft when I pull that rod back out, because otherwise it will stick and it will grab. And then what we're going to do is we're going to switch over and we're going to pour the orange over top. To save time, I already switched the bait over, so basically I pulled it out of the mold, pulled that rod out, put it back in the mold, and now I'm shooting the orange over top. So I'm going to show you guys that part right here. This part's a little tricky because you have to make sure you don't push too hard where it'll blow out of the mold, but you also have to push hard enough where it'll force it to go down just the center of the bait. And then you just let this dry, and then you get the final result, which I'll show you guys at the end of the video. Well, that was an experiment to say the least. I actually spent a lot of time on there. You guys can't see it because I cut a lot of the video out, but I learned a lot. So the first thing I learned is that you really need to lubricate that rod. Yeah, I said lubricate your rod. Basically, that metal rod needs to have some worm oil on it so that it will come back out of the bait. Otherwise, it grabs. The other thing you need to do is you need to make your core color a solid color. It can't really be transparent or it won't shine through the clear bait. It just doesn't show up as much. But I'm going to give you guys both recipes. We're going to call this color Ghost Perch because of the color of it is very clear, but it has a nice perch look to it. The orange, like you see there, is pretty basic. I did not add salt because these are going to be a swim bait that I'm going to be using on a swim bait head. So I'm going to get the sink from the head itself. So I'm not worried about that, and I didn't want to affect the transparency of the bait by using salt. Overall, this is a technique that I'm going to use in future videos. I have some ideas on how to use a core shot to make some really cool baits, so be on the lookout for those videos. And if you like this video, guys, I have an entire series of bait making videos. I'm trying to release them once a month for you, just so you guys get some recipes, maybe get some thoughts, some ideas on different ways that you can make your own custom baits as well. Want to thank you guys for coming along with me. If you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and as always, let's get out there, catch more fish.